That guilty plea was entered earlier this week. It was entered in connection to an incident that occurred in July of 2020. The defendant was arrested in October of that year in a different jurisdiction. He was charged with shooting the victim while the victim was inside a vehicle. 31-year-old David Lee Chambers entered a guilty plea in Iredell County Superior Court on Monday. He pleaded guilty to the murder of 39-year-old Courtney Deshawn Bradshaw in July of 2020. On July 26th of 2020, the Statesville Police Department responded to an address on Elam Avenue in reference to an individual who had been shot in a vehicle. During the investigation, Courtney Deshawn Bradshaw was identified as the victim of the shooting. Bradshaw was pronounced deceased at the scene of a motor vehicle crash in the 500 block of Elam Avenue. Police determined he had been shot while driving, then crashed the vehicle. Investigators arrived at the scene and began interviewing potential witnesses. On July 28th of 2020, investigators obtained a warrant for David Lee Chambers in connection to Bradshaw's death. On October 1st of 2020, the Charlotte-Mecklenburg Police Department arrested David Lee Chambers for a separate shooting that occurred in their jurisdiction. Investigators from the Statesville Police Department interviewed Chambers, and he confessed to the homicide of Courtney Deshawn Bradshaw. On Monday, Chambers pleaded guilty to second-degree murder and possession of a firearm by a felon. Following the guilty plea, Chambers was sentenced to 240 to 300 months or 20 to 25 years in the North Carolina Department of Corrections. Reporting for WHKY-TV News, I'm Rob Eastwood.